The topic I chose to do this week is artificial intelligence. The article that I looked at discussed um, exploring the impact of artificial intelligence in higher education. So, this one is specifically discussing college, but it certainly can be applied to the high school level. So, the article discusses, first of all, how it has changed. And really, what they're talking about is the fact that um, AI, artificial intelligence, now is specifically good at repetitive tasks, things that can be put into an algorithm, things that are predictable. They have done this a lot. And of course, we're familiar with this kind of thing. Google even uses this kind of AI to predict an outcome. Like when you type something and you start typing it, it predicts what you're going to say. Um, AI also has the ability to communicate and interact with human beings. And this is really a pretty cool new feature as well, that has grown. And they are also able, the newest research, these artificial intelligence are able to communicate, interact with humans, and predict what humans are going to say as well. So, in education today, at this point, the article discussed a couple of different ways that it has been implemented. One of the main ways that we see artificial intelligence is through administrative tasks. So, this would be like um, checking to see if people have turned something in, administrative tasks like doing roll, doing, you know, responding to students, these kinds of things that are relatively simple and relatively repetitive. A lot of that has been outsourced to some sort of AI machine. Um, Another example of how it's been implemented is through a teacher's assistant. So there was this professor in California who, for an entire semester, had a teacher's assistant that he called Jenny Watson, but really it was IBM's Watson computer that he had programmed to be a teacher's assistant. And so all the feedback the students got came from this Jenny Watson person, and the students didn't even know that it was an artificial intelligence machine. And then another thing that it's been able to do is brain functioning, which is essentially when the machine connects into the neurons of the brain and is able to make sense of what's happening in the brain. This is particularly helpful for students who have learning disabilities and some kind of major disability that prohibits them from communicating. There are lots of challenges, and I appreciated this article because it did not try to pretend like AI was, perfect. It clearly mentioned that it has lots of imperfections. It points to how easily people trust autopilot. And then there was a terrible autopilot crash in 2016. Another example was an automated response machine that Microsoft did, that they called Tay, and within 16 hours of going on to Twitter, Tay had turned into this like horribly racist, terrible machine. Like they were posting all these terrible things, and they were trying to figure out why did Tay do this. Well, they said that to he was responding to what other people had said. Um, so the article asks, are we going to have teacher bots? Are teachers going to be replaced by robots? And the article argued that no, not really. There's always going to be a place for teachers. However, it is likely that teachers' jobs will shift and that we'll probably do more teaching, like in terms of more students, but less administrative tasks. So some of the administrative parts of being a teacher would be taken over by artificial intelligence. There was also the argument that artificial intelligence will probably be apps that augment the teaching experience, but don't necessarily replace the teacher. So, my conclusion here is that the job of teaching is changing. And in the future, we may see a rise. I mean, we will see a rise in artificial intelligence, but as teachers, we just need to be flexible, understand that the future is a changing, moving target, and try to learn new skills of creativity and innovation that still make us valuable members of the education community. All right, thanks so much.